Imagine for a moment that time itself could be shaped into metal, sound, and speed. If engineering perfection had a heartbeat, if passion had a form, it would almost certainly look like this car. Welcome back to MotriX, the channel where machines aren't just reviewed, they're celebrated. And today, we are not just talking about a car, we are diving into the soul of an icon, a machine that has been the dream of generations, a legend reborn for 2025, the Porsche 911. Now, before we hit the gas on this review, let's do something different. Usually, people introduce a car by telling you the specs first or the price tag. But I want you to close your eyes for a second and picture yourself standing in front of a guard's red Porsche 911, the sun setting behind a modern villa, the paint glowing like liquid fire. You hear the subtle crackle of the flat 6 engine as it cools down from a spirited drive. That's not just transportation, that's art, that's heritage, that's power contained in a shape so timeless that even after 60 years, it makes people turn their heads and whisper one word, 911. And that, my friends, is where our journey begins today. The Porsche 911 isn't just another car, and that's why it deserves a different kind of introduction. Because when you're dealing with a machine that has literally defined the concept of a sports car, you don't just start with horsepower numbers. You start with the feeling, the goosebumps, the way it grips not just the road, but also your soul. And trust me, the 2025 Porsche 911 carries that tradition forward like never before. Let's rewind time for a moment. The 911 was born in 1963, a replacement for the Porsche 356. At the time, people were skeptical. A rear engine layout, a flat 6 engine hanging behind the rear axle. Some thought Porsche had gone mad. And yet, here we are, over 6 decades later, and that so-called madness has turned into one of the most successful, most loved, and most admired sports cars in automotive history. The 911 didn't just survive, it thrived, raced, evolved, and became a symbol of pure driving. Now, the 2025 model takes everything you know about the 911 and sharpens it to a blade's edge. It looks instantly recognizable, because that's the Porsche way. Evolution, not revolution. They don't throw away the past, they refine it. And that's why when you see the new 911, it feels both familiar and futuristic at the same time. Up front, those iconic round headlights stare at you like eyes that have seen decades of racetracks. The front bumper is sculpted with precision, airflow is carefully managed to balance cooling and aerodynamics. Walk around the side and you see that timeless silhouette, the sloping roofline that has remained almost untouched since the beginning, because why would you ever mess with perfection? At the back, the full-width light bar glows like a signature in the night, and the quad exhausts remind you that this car doesn't just look powerful, it is powerful. Let's talk about what's under the skin, because this is where the 911 really shows its engineering magic. The 2025 Carrera models are powered by the legendary 3.0-liter twin-turbo flat 6 engine. In the Carrera S, it delivers around 443 horsepower, while the Carrera 4S pushes even higher, giving you a surge of acceleration that can take you from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3.4 seconds. If that's not enough for you, the Turbo and Turbo S models are monsters in disguise, pushing beyond 600 horsepower and taking off like rockets, yet still refined enough for a calm Sunday drive. That's the beauty of the 911, it's a dual-personality machine. Civilized when you need it, ferocious when you want it. But numbers don't tell the full story. It's the way the 911 drives that makes it a legend. Thanks to its rear engine layout, the balance feels unique compared to any other sports car. Modern engineering has perfected what was once considered a flaw. Rear-wheel steering makes the car feel agile in the city and stable on the highway. Porsche's suspension tuning is nothing short of magical, firm yet forgiving, sharp yet comfortable. And then there's the steering. Ask any car enthusiast, and they'll tell you Porsche steering is simply the best in the business, pure, direct, and full of feedback. Step inside the cabin, and you're greeted by a blend of tradition and technology. The tachometer sits proudly at the center, because in a Porsche, the revs are the heartbeat. Around it, you get digital displays, customizable to show everything from navigation to performance data. The materials are premium, every stitch carefully placed, every surface crafted for a purpose. Sit in those sports seats and you feel hugged, secure, ready to become one with the car. And yet, it's not stripped down like a race car. It has comfort, luxury, even practicality with small rear seats and a front trunk. Yes, the 911 is still one of the few sports cars you could realistically daily drive. Now, let's pause here for a second. At MotriX, we don't just review cars, we celebrate them. And the Porsche 911 deserves that celebration. Because think about it, how many cars can you name that have stayed relevant, desirable, and world-class for over 60 years without losing their identity? Not many. The 911 is a rare breed, a car that connects generations. Your grandfather may have dreamed of one, your father admired one, and now you can drive one. It's continuity on wheels. And while the design may look similar across decades, the technology underneath is cutting edge. The 2025 model brings advanced driver assists, adaptive aerodynamics, and connectivity features that make it modern and practical. But Porsche has been very careful not to let the digital age dilute the driving feel. Unlike some competitors that drown you in touchscreens and electronic filters, the 911 still feels analog at heart. Press the start button, hear the flat 6 roar, grip that steering wheel, and suddenly it's just you, the machine, and the road. Of course, a legend comes with a price. The 2025 Porsche 911 Carrera starts at around $120,000, and if you climb up the ladder to the Turbo S or any special edition, you're easily looking at over $200,000. But here's the thing, people don't buy a 911 because it's cheap, they buy it because it's worth it. It's not just about owning a car, it's about owning a piece of history, an engineering masterpiece that continues to dominate both road and track. Speaking of track, let's not forget the GT3 and GT3 Rupees variants. These are the purest expressions of Porsche's motorsport DNA. Naturally aspirated engines screaming to high RPMs, massive wings, lightweight construction, and track-focused tuning. The 2025 GT3 is expected to be one of the finest drivers cars ever made, a true weapon for enthusiasts who crave the ultimate connection between man and machine. But here's a fun fact most people don't know. Every single 911 engine is still hand-assembled by a single technician in Zuffenhausen, Germany. That means when you own a 911, you're not just buying mass-produced machinery, you're buying craftsmanship, passion, and tradition, all poured into a car that bears your name on the registration. And let's not forget about the sound. In a world where many sports cars are going electric and silent, the 911 still gives you that intoxicating flat 6 soundtrack. Porsche engineers spend thousands of hours tuning the exhaust note to perfection, so when you rev it, it's not just noise, it's music, it's emotion, it's history echoing through every cylinder. Driving a Porsche 911 is a reminder of what cars are supposed to be. It's not about getting from point A to point B, it's about enjoying every moment in between. The cornering precision, the throttle response, the way it makes you feel alive, it's something no spec sheet can ever truly capture. And that's why, after all these years, the Porsche 911 is still the benchmark. As we bring this review to a close, I want you to think about one thing. In a future where cars may no longer have engines, where driving may become automated, the Porsche 911 stands as a monument to what driving used to mean, and still means today. It's not just a car, it's a time machine, a piece of art, and a performance icon rolled into one. And that's why here at MotriX, we celebrated not just with words, but with passion. Because cars like the Porsche 911 are not just built, they're born. They carry stories, emotions, and memories. They make us fall in love with driving again and again. So, whether you're a die-hard Porsche fan, or just someone who loves beautiful machines, the 2025 Porsche 911 is proof that perfection isn't about changing everything, it's about refining what already works, and making it even better. Thank you for joining me on this journey today. If you felt the passion, the energy, the love for cars that we try to put into every video here on MotriX, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and join this family of enthusiasts where cars are more than machines, they're emotions on wheels. This is MotriX, signing off until the next ride. Stay driven, stay inspired, and as always, keep chasing the road ahead.